This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
I heard the Blu-ray of Dr. Sleep. It's going to be a director's cut, over 3 hours long.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just made me start thinking about The Shining, and I went back and rewatched it.
Yeah.
And it really is the story of the male struggle.
Oh.
And it hit me when Jack Nicholson is like leaning back in his chair at his typewriter and having the nightmare.
Uh-huh.
And you can hear it throughout the house, like,
Yeah.
you know, Olive Oyl finds him, and she starts accusing him of causing the marks on Danny's neck.
Right.
But it's right after he snaps out of the nightmare. So you get this traumatizing experience as a man while you're sleeping, and then while you're waking, you're getting accused of abusing your child. All the while, the whole bedrock of this story is like him trying to provide for his family.
Yeah.
Male struggle, man.
Yeah, it is like my life.
And the next scene is him going to the bar and then talking about the white man's burden.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's just white, but it is a burden.
Yeah. Stephen King. You're welcome.
Then Olive Oyl shows up and she's like, oh, everything's okay now because there's somebody else in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
And she's like, go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie Popeye is also an allegory for the male struggle.
Anyways, when he goes into room 237, starts making out with the ghost woman, and it turns out she's a zombie in the mirror, and he runs away. And Olive Oyl's like, well, did you find anything? Remember what he said?
No.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 136 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie from beginning to end for me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie or not. The experience is unique, so let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Here with me tonight, Nurse Candy.
Hey, everybody.
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. You know him, you love him. He's Ron.
Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, guys. Hello, Planet Earth, and welcome to 136.
So Spotify did their Wrapped of the season.
Right. The one about our show?
Yeah, it gave us all the advanced statistics just to wrap up the year. Stuff that we don't even find out from our RSS feed host.
Uh-huh.
You know, like 65% of our listeners are from ages 35 to 44.
Those are the best people.
That's right.
And our audience grew 400% in Canada.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
So that guy heard my Canadian Hellraiser joke and told 3 other people. Who wants to guess our most popular episode?
The Keep.
Oh, that's a good one.
Total Recall.
Yeah, it's Total Recall.
Whoa.
That is one I like revisiting. You know which one is not far behind it, though, and is unexpectedly popular?
What?
Wedlock Deadlock.
There you go.
Really?
A lot of people like it.
It's Rutger Hauer, man.
Yeah, the power of the Rutger. All right. Who's seen that new The Irishman on Netflix?
I have not.
No.
Has anyone took a chance? It's like 3.5 hours long. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino. And they play these characters from like 30 years old until their current ages.
Right.
And they're digitally de-aged.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. It's fucking horrible looking.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
really?
Watching Robert De Niro, like something he did 40 years ago, which is like, come in, sit down at the dinner table with his 28-year-old wife with the CGI face. His daughter got manhandled by a butcher, right? So he's like, oh, come with me, daughter. We're going to go visit this butcher, you know, and he beats up the butcher in front of his daughter. And at this point, it's like, Martin Scorsese, come on, we don't need this shit. Okay, he's beating up the butcher, throws him out the front door. The guy's laying on the ground. Then you get the wide shot. You've only had medium shots up until now, right? And like, quote unquote, 30-year-old Robert De Niro goes up and stomps on the guy's hand and grinds it into the road.
Yeah.
And that is an 80-year-old man grinding that hand into the road. Like, you de-age the face. Might as well make the whole fucking body CGI, man, because it looks like an old fucking geezer.
Yeah. Sounds horrible.
It makes me want to watch a movie I'm excited about. Like The Iceman Cometh from 1989.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You think it's based on that famous play by what's his name? It's not.
What's his name?
A guy who writes all those plays.
Shakespeare?
Sure. The Iceman Cometh is a Chinese film, or a Hong Kong film, from 1989. Here's the synopsis. A frozen Ming Dynasty royal guard and the equally frigid rapist killer he's tracking are thawed out in modern-day Hong Kong. Turns out, Demolition Man was already made before it was made.
Oh, wow.
Fucking seriously.
Wow.
I gotta see The Iceman Cometh now. That's a fucking cool idea.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I did see? Little Children from 2006.
Ugh.
Oh, man. I fucking love that movie.
It was good. The book was really good.
Todd Field, such a great writer-director. He made In the Bedroom,
Yeah.
then made Little Children. He hasn't made one since. I need him to make another movie. All right, I also watched Return of the Living Dead from 1985.
Yes.
Dan O'Bannon. Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
I didn't appreciate it when I was younger. That's a fucking solid-ass movie.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Real good scenes. Like an actual writer wrote that movie. It's silly. It has fun while still being a work of art. I mean, come on. A medical supply company across the street from a funeral home and cemetery. There's no better combination.
For a zombie movie, that broke new ground. I mean, first scene in a zombie movie where the zombie could talk and describe its condition and how it was feeling.
Yeah.
And some really, truly scary scenes, like when the boyfriend and girlfriend, he's chasing her around, she's hiding from him, and he's coming up to the attic to get her, but he can't see. That was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And good acting.
There's one part outside where it's a legless zombie, where it's like cut off at the knees, but it's played by a dwarf actor.
That's right.
But you can see like the bone
Yeah.
where it's severed that it's walking on. Scariest shit I've ever seen.
Ugh.
Return of the Living Dead. All right, we're doing Cruising from 1980.
Yep. This is for Troy McIver.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome, Troy.
Yeah, he called it maybe the worst idea ever. And it just still may be.
I can't wait. Thank you, Troy.
Written and directed by the man, William Friedkin,
Oh, yeah.
the guy who made The Exorcist,
That's right.
The French Connection.
French Connection. Also, a little known one I like called Sorcerer. Ever seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
The sheriff from Jaws
Roy Scheider.
trying to get a truck full of dynamite from A to B.
Oh,
And that's all it's about. But if the trip gets too rough, the dynamite will explode.
oh.
And there's points where they have to like get across a ravine. It's just trying to get a truck from A to B. But it's, I don't know, it's pretty powerful. Now looking at William Friedkin, after Cruising, he's kind of hit and miss as a director. Although in 2011, he made Killer Joe. You guys should watch that movie.
Right. Yeah, you've told me.
Cruising's based on The Body Bag Killer, a real life story of a
Yeah,
serial
man.
killer.
It's freaky.
Really?
And Friedkin researched the story by going to gay bars wearing only a jockstrap.
Yeah.
It's got Al Pacino in it. We love him.
Super young.
Oh, yes.
Al Pacino was nervous the whole time filming this movie because gay people boycotted the filming.
Oh,
Big time.
Yeah.
Like almost the entire movie is dubbed because they were all screaming. They were standing on the sidelines, screaming and blowing whistles to ruin the sound of the movie.
Yeah.
And they would stand up on rooftops and use mirrors to shine light in actors' faces and ruin the takes and stuff
wow.
like that. Because they heard this movie, like, showcasing the gay community was was being made. And
Like they were afraid
They
it
thought
was
it- yeah.
painting it in a bad light.
Yeah.
The lifestyle,
Yeah.
I suppose.
when really Billy Friedkin was just like, I just think it's the perfect setting for a murder mystery.
Yeah, it sounds great.
The leather gay scene.
Straight cop has to go undercover. Although Friedkin wishes he had went with Richard Gere.
That's right.
Instead of Al Pacino.
Oh.
Al Pacino's real big, just like Marlon Brando, on not learning his lines and doing what he wants.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking lame.
There's really only one scene in this movie where William Friedkin let him off the chain to do that, and it is pretty good.
It's got Karen Allen in it. Any love for Mrs. Allen?
I liked her in Starman.
Raiders of the
Pretty
Lost
much
Ark?
it.
No.
No? No candy?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Not a handsome woman. Nah, she's handsome.
No, I never understood the appeal. She was in all those 80s movies, and I just didn't get it. I still don't get it. How did that happen?
Wasn't she kind of a tomboy?
Yeah.
Big
Wasn't that the allure?
Ew. What?
That's the allure?
Yeah, like you see like prissy princess kind of women,
Right.
and then in the story where people have to get their hands dirty, a somewhat attractive woman can like throw down with the boys and get shit done and solve problems. That's kind of her role.
Yeah, she's like a Marianne. You know, Marianne and Ginger.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's in this movie for like 3 minutes. Okay. It's all Troy's fault this time. She's the only one woman in the movie, and nearly not at all.
All right. Moving right along.
This movie is nothing but cops and gays. Like, that is it.
All right. How about some men? Ed O'Neill, James Remar, and Powers Booth.
Oh, yes.
Ed O'Neill's first feature film.
Really?
Yeah. He's like a little Al Bundy. Jesus, big. Running around.
When they first submitted Cruising to the ratings board, the response was, there aren't enough X's to rate this movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
And from what I understand, footage that was deleted to secure the R rating meant losing important twists and turns in the story. You think?
Not important ones, but they certainly added some depth to it.
Yeah.
So says Billy Friedkin.
Like right when story revelations happen, in the background there's like anal sex going on.
Yeah, really.
There is a little bit of anal sex. The weird thing about this is Friedkin filmed they cut out like 40 minutes of basically gay porn.
Yeah.
But he filmed all that to give them something to cut out because he didn't want to lose
That's
anything
the
else.
other strategy I read about.
And
That does make sense.
right, so that was gone, and the production company maintains that they destroyed it. But a lot of people are like, where is it? And one person in particular, James Franco, actually made a movie
Oh, yeah.
called Interior Leather Bar, in which he attempts to like reimagine the lost 40 minutes and what they could have been. And him and this guy are like making this movie. They're halfway through it. And James Franco calls William Friedkin and says, hey, what was on the 40 minutes? I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to watch this movie too. Just like really, know everything about what's going on here. I watched the trailer and I was like, man, I am never watching that stupid piece of shit.
But this film is a time capsule, in a way.
Oh, it certainly is.
You've read about that? It's a look at the gay life a year before AIDS became a thing.
Oh.
So in that regard, I started watching this movie and I was like, man, this movie is like a baseball bat to the face. Like for better or worse, whether you love it or hate it, this movie is important because I never would have known any of this
Yeah.
until I saw this. And Jesus, it's nasty. And it's also like fucking relentless. Like the gay does not let up.
Yeah.
And you watching this movie, you get so uncomfortable and like beaten down by all of this that after a while you're just like, yep, this is normal. But you being so uncomfortable watching it mirrors the straight cop going undercover in that world where he's so confused and weirded out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. You know, it parallels that.
Right on.
Billy Friedkin, man, I love him. He does make good movies. He knows what he's doing.
He's pretty devoted.
So do you guys like butts? Hairy ones?
Oh.
Pale and hairy. Sweaty men. Sweaty guys. Okay.
Oh.
You like leather captain's hats? That's a thing. That is a thing in this movie.
Did that symbolize some kind of role or something? What significance does the leather captain's hat have?
I don't know. I'm not a leather gay.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, do they have ranks?
You're educated now.
I feel like they do. Because Al Pacino, when he begins, he starts off in like a black tank top. Okay. And he eventually gets his jacket. He doesn't earn it. He just goes out and buys the shit. You suck my dick, you get a jacket.
Earn your wings.
Yeah. As time goes by, though, that motherfucker is in a leather captain's hat, and he knows what he is doing. And you watch him wearing that, you're just like, oh my God. Like, that's like as deep as you go into leather gay. And it's pretty good stuff.
All right, folks, pack your fudge. We're going cruising on Movies with Ron.
It's showtime. Get the people out! Come on! Get the people out!
Just a black screen and huge letters that run across it. Cruising.
Oh, here we go.
Woo! Everybody in! Oh, so here we are on the Hudson River. We're in New York, and we got a tugboat. Already the gay symbolism is here. Like a tug job, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
I immediately thought that.
Yep, I'm on board.
Tugging. That is a thing. I've heard that's a thing. Everybody in this movie worth their salt has got a real nice mustache. It's 1980.
Yeah.
Pale skin, everybody in this movie looks like they've been carved out of a single piece of bologna. Their skin complexion. Anyway, the first mate, he's out there smoking a joint or something. Damn, this weed's good, man. He's looking out in the water. Oh, holy smoke, a turd. He sees a turd out in the water. Hey, Captain, we got a shit here. So you know what? You see it. It's like floating. Let's pick it up, Arnie. So they do. And it's an arm.
Oh, shit.
It's a severed arm. And the fingers are like just bones. They've been eaten by fish.
Yeah.
Pretty good looking arm. Cuts to this police detective, Detective Mustache, and Mr. Coroner. He's like, hey, see if that arm matches that torso we found last month. If it doesn't, otherwise, Doc, circumstances undetermined. You know what I'm saying? And the doc's like, but there's fingerprints on it, man. Like, you can make this a homicide. I can't do that without a cause of death.
Yeah.
And that would mean I'd have to go out and find the rest of the body. No good, Doc. So the coroner has to put it in the cuppy drawer. You guys know what cuppy is?
No.
C-U-P-P-I. Circumstances unknown pending police investigation. And God knows how many body parts have that label.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
In the world, The drawer's full of other parts, too. Mostly dicks and balls, but... And we cut to two beat cops. They're cruising in their car. Cruising. Let's talk about the title.
Yeah.
Double meaning, right? Cops on patrol. Gays looking for...
Action.
Action, yes.
Yeah.
So these two cops, they're DeSimone and Desher. Okay? Patrolman. Desher is played by Mike Starr. You guys know that guy?
No.
This movie is like... It's full of all these weird... stars that you kind of know now. He's like, he was from Dumb and Dumber. He's been in 100 movies. If I showed him to you, you'd be like, oh my God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy they
with
killed.
The pills.
Yeah. He was like eating jalapenos or something.
Yeah, they gave him a heart attack in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
Remember him?
Oh.
the insurance salesman in The Office.
There you go. So they're riding in this car, and both of them look like they hate their lives, okay? DeSimone, he's kind of a Edward James Olmos shotgun face looking fella.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just goes, she ain't gonna make me a fool. Takes the keys and goes to Florida to her sister's. Leaves me a note, 10 years. And then Desher's like, they're all scumbags. And it's like, he's talking about women.
Oh.
He's like, what? Scumbags? Who? All of them. You're better off.
Yeesh.
It's just drive. You don't know nothing. What do you know? What do you know? You don't know nothing. They're driving down all these like seedy New York streets, okay? And there are hundreds of guys just like creeping in the dark. Gay town.
No.
Basically in this movie. DeSimone's like, I'll get that bitch. She ain't gonna jerk me around. I'll get her. Desher's like, you'll get her. It's so
Lord.
weird already.
Yeah.
You're already so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Those are the cops you want looking out for.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get her. Damn right I will. They're looking at all these guys on the streets, you know. I guess they're all gay. This place is sick now. Used to be able to play stickball on these streets. What's happening? They see a couple of trans hookers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look too bad. Blonde and a brunette. So they get out and give them the shakedown.
Oh.
One of them, her name is Da Vinci. And the guy that played Da Vinci is like fucking great
Yeah.
Really?
in this movie. He mouths off to him, and the cops make him get in their car. And it cuts to the car in like some quiet alley, and in the back seat is DeSimone and the two hookers. Desher's up front, and they're like making fun of him, like, hey, come here often, you know?
Yeah.
And the hookers are like, oh man, would you just let us go? You know, you arrested me last week. Come on, just cut me a break, will you? And Desher up front's like, come up here.
Oh.
I want to show you my nightstick. And the hooker's just like, oh, God. And just sits there, doesn't move. And he's like, move your ass.
Good Lord.
And Da Vinci has to get out and get in front. As she does that, we train on a leather gay. Walking by. He's like a jacket, boots. He's got keys jangling, dark fluffy hair, 1980s hair. He's basically Danny Zuko. A lot of Danny Zuko's in this movie.
Okay.
Walking up into the mine shaft. Oh! At least it wasn't called the rectum.
Dude, gay clubs have the best names.
Yeah. Le rectum. He's walking in there like he's got a purpose. And he, of course, does. We don't see his face, though. Anyway, here we are in this underground leather bar. I mean, hundreds of gay guys, okay? And this is just so odd, okay? It's like hundreds of gay guys down there, and they're all tough. There's like not a twink to be seen in this movie. Like they are all like construction workers and miners, you know?
Yeah.
They all work at the plant. Some of them are wearing like hard hats and shit. Some of them are wearing nothing at all. But I'm talking like, as far as the eye can see, pasty skin, chaps, mustaches, those leather captain's hats, and butts.
Yes!
Hairy ones.
Ooh.
Like waxing and shaving and tanning, those things were not invented in 1980. This guy's walking through, he's got sunglasses on, okay? He's walking past guys playing pool and like sucking each other's nipples.
Yeesh.
And by the way, soundtrack in this movie, fucking phenomenal.
Really?
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're playing funk now, but later on it's like nothing but punk. Funk and punk. Some are in cowboy hats, but everybody is wearing leather. Okay, there's like guys making out all over the background. Toned denim butts. Actually like purposely jutting out with keys hanging off of the belt loop. And you're just like, Jesus, man, this can't be real. But it is. All of these actors in this bar were real patrons of the gay bars in 1980 New York City.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. great times are happening on the dance floor. Like, they're like cutting a rug and having fun.
Yeah.
The song's all like, love can't boot it wrong. Love can't cut the funk. And it's like, man, this does look fun. Can't cut that funk. Also, here's the thing. Colored handkerchiefs hanging out of everybody's pockets.
There you go.
Okay, it's like you're signaling. Tied to jock straps, because those guys don't have pockets. Well, they got one in the back. It's like guys in jock straps, and only those, the alabaster cheeks. With super hairy cracks. Like dark thatches. Peeking out at you. There's all kinds of thrusting and drinking. No one's actually having sex, but it's just like, come on, let's just grind and drink. They're all doing that. There's like one solemn gimp sidelining it, you know? And then this muscly Italian stallion guy, he saunters up to the bar and he talks to our stranger in the sunglasses, okay? Who is smoking. They're both smoking. That's what's weird. He's just like, hey. And the stranger just looks at him and goes, do I qualify? I hate cigarettes. And he's smoking.
Oh.
It's okay. It's just a tactic. He's really good at flirting, this Italian stallion guy. Oh, really? I think they're disgusting. He's like a big sweaty piece of licorice. Well, I enjoy them. All it is anal regressive. Yeah, if you want to quit, I suggest another form of childhood stroking. I don't want to quit. I suggest an ostrich feather along the small of your back, up the spine to the nape of your neck. And it's like, good Lord. Sounds addictive. Why do you come here? Why do you? 'Cause I'm having ego problems. I need to be worshipped and adored. Where are you from? Mars. Terrific! I never made it with a Martian before. So that's how that goes down.
Interesting.
We cut to the St. James Hotel. And there they are. They got a room. Our Italian stallion guy, this is Lauren Lucas. That's his character name, Lauren. He steps out of the bathroom in a black jock strap. And he's still wearing his boots.
Let the game begin.
Tell us what he's wearing, Ron. Our stranger in the corner is still dressed. Okay, I'm wearing so much leather, you breathe, you make creaking sounds. The creaking sounds of the leather, very loud in the movie.
Really?
Like, it's...
Yeah.
And that's on purpose, you know, to really put you there. You can just about smell it. He's still dressed, still wearing his sunglasses. Lauren Lucas opens up his kit, his little briefcase.
Oh.
For sex, okay? And he pulls this little thing out and just opens it up and takes a huge whiff off of this thing. And he's like, ooh. And I was like, what's he doing over there? What is that gentleman sniffing? It's not Coke, you know?
Right.
There's a couple guys doing it in the clubs too, right? So I did some digging. He's doing a popper.
Yeah.
I missed out on poppers. You know, never had any experience with them. So I looked this up, and I went down a rabbit hole. It's this chemical called amyl nitrite. Mm-hmm. And it opens all the blood vessels and also speeds up the heart at the same time. So you're just instantly high. It's an instant rush. Mm-hmm. You're just killing brain cells. It only lasts for like a few seconds.
That's right.
But for some people, it's like one of the worst feelings in the world.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Incidentally, it was really huge back in the 70s and 80s with gays. And it's like, why, right? Well, one of the side effects is it loosens your butthole.
Oh.
Ding, 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 ding.
We have a winner. So he takes a big sniff off of this popper, goes to the stranger, creaks some leather, and goes down. So here we go. Just a couple of nude meatballs in boots and socks. There's a big pile of wrestling magazines. What? On the floor, like he carries them in his briefcase. And there's a pretty weird scene of one of them caressing the other one's booted calf. Mm-hmm. I've already gone too far. It's weird. Right. Put that in your mind. Anyway, then they just jump on the bed. It's time. And we cut to afterwards. And Lauren Lucas is waking up in bed. The stranger's all dressed, and he's going through Lauren's stuff.
Oh.
What are you doing? Still in his sunglasses. I don't think he ever took them off. I don't know. Just looking for some cigarettes. Why? Are you afraid? Should I be? You ever been ripped off? And it's like, that's a hand job name? Is that slang? Come on, rip me off. It's real rough, though.
I know some guys get turned on by having women steal from them. I mean, not personally. I've heard of it.
I know like 3 of them at least.
No, some guys, they give women their credit card numbers and they're like, buy stuff. And then they jerk off when they're checking their accounts online.
Wait a minute. This is a real thing?
Kenny's like,
you're welcome.
Where can I find these, man?
Rip me off.
Anyway, Lauren's like, I don't have anything to take. And the stranger walks up to him. I can't believe you're not afraid. He sits on the bed and pulls out a knife and puts it to this guy's throat.
Oh, God.
As he does this, okay, Lauren Lucas is like, he's finally all scared. He was this big, tough Italian in the bar.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay? And all of a sudden, he's all vulnerable and scared. He's got this knife to his throat. And the stranger starts like humming and like kind of singing this weird little nursery rhyme. He's like, who's here? I'm here. You're here. Now I'm afraid. Like all toughness is gone. Yeah. Lie down. Go on, lie down. And he does. The stranger like runs the knife on his nipples. And right about here, you're like, oh God. There's already too much nipple going on. We're like 5 minutes in. The knife he's using is like a knife you'd get at a steakhouse restaurant. Like one that anybody can have. It's not scary looking, but it is obviously capable looking, you know?
Yeah.
Turn over. I said turn over. What are you going to do? I know what I have to do. He turns onto his stomach and the stranger hog ties him. And he's even talking to him like, I don't want to make this too tight for you. God, please, 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 no. Please, please. And then chang, chang, chang.
Oh, Jesus.
The guy just stabs him in the back like 8 times.
Oh.
And we are right there with Lauren Lucas, like in his face, like dying with him. It's a pretty good scene, man. Now, here's the thing that's like not so good about it is every time the knife stabs into his back, there is a subliminal flash of dicks going into butts.
What?
The director did this on purpose because he's like, well, you know, there's the penetration. It's symbolic.
So you notice it.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Weird.
Put a dick in a butt there. No, you already used that one. Do we have any more? So Lauren's just like choking on all of his blood, and the killer's just like, you made me do that.
Oh.
You guys like his voice? Because that is what he sounds like.
Oh.
You made me do that. It just all of a sudden hit me. The killer in Cruising has the exact same voice as the Great God Porno in Flesh Gordon. Black nylon. That just hit me right now. You made me do that. Your tits. So now we see his body. He's all stabbed. And it just seamlessly cuts to his body on a slab in the morgue.
Oh.
The anus was dilated at the time of death. Still is. Look up that thing. You see right? See to China. It's weird because he slept for a while. You would have thought it would have closed back up. It was open at the time of death. Just saying. Anyway, I'm no pro, so what would I know? And we got Captain Paul Sorvino in this movie.
Yeah, right.
I love that guy.
Yes.
He's like, trying not to puke. We found semen, but we can't identify it because there's no sperm in it. The guy's shooting blanks.
Motive.
Yes.
I don't know.
Possible motive. The first stab is all clean. See that? Now the rest of them, they're all defensive. So, he knew he was being killed. But the knife dimensions, they match the other killing, last month close enough. I think it might be the same guy, Captain. It cuts to Paul Sorvino and Da Vinci, or Hooker from earlier.
Huh.
Oh.
Turns out she's like an informant for the cops. And he's got her flipping through like pictures of gay guys.
Yeah.
It's like, need him, got him. Yeah, look at that guy. You used to work with that guy. Yeah, he was seen with that professor who got whacked last month, okay? And he says you introduced him. Maybe, but he ain't no killer. This guy's a hustler. And Captain's like, yeah, well, okay, all right, so... Okay, I guess we haven't found the killer yet. Hey, I gotta talk to you alone, Captain. So they go into his office, and Da Vinci tells on DeSimone and Desher.
Well, good.
Man, these two cops, they're giving me a hard time. Paul Sorvino, can't accept it. He's like, maybe they're not real cops. What? They're driving in a real radio car. You know how many guys we got out there impersonating cops? Man, they are cops. Okay, well, you give me their badge numbers. One of them made me give him head right in his radio car. They're from the 6th precinct. And Paul Sorvino's just like, get out! Not my boys.
Yeah.
Later, he's in his office, and in walks Al Pacino.
Woohoo.
But he's like a 12-year-old Al Pacino. Okay. Al Pacino didn't sound like Al Pacino yet in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You hear Al Pacino, you're like, what do we got here? But in this movie, he's just like, hi. Captain Edelstein? Edelson. Oh, sit down. He's this young buck patrolman, okay? Yeah, hey, they told me there was some special assignment that I was right for. I don't know. Captain looks at him and he's just like, you ever had your cock sucked by a man?
Oh, God.
He's like, hoo-wah. No. You ever been porked? Or had a man smoke your pole? He's like, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. I know you're kidding me. No? Well, I guess you got the wrong guy then. Okay. And then the captain shows him pictures of the college professor that was murdered and Lauren Lucas.
Right.
The two murder victims, gays. How'd you like to disappear? Disappear? Go undercover. These killings all have the same M.O., and we're also finding body parts in the river. I think it's all the same guy killing them. Yeah, so why me? All the victims are the same type. They all look like you. They got kind of a baloney complexion. Basically Danny Zuko. Yeah, I know, okay. I want you to go out and I want you to attract this guy. Out where? The leather gay underworld. And he's like, oh God, okay. I've been waiting for a chance to do this. If you take this assignment, you'll have more experience than any of my detectives. Do I carry a gun? No gun, no shield. You get paid once a month, and you get a call where to pick up the money, and you report only to me. No one can know what you're doing. Up the creek without a paddle. Are you in? Yeah, I love it. I love this kind of shit. Leather and butts. Dicks and poppers. You know what poppers are? It just cuts to Karen Allen. And she's okay, I guess. She's his girlfriend. They're in bed. And she's just watching him be all like haunted and nervous. Al Pacino staring off. And it's a typical scene. Why can't I know what you're doing? Mm-hmm. No girlfriend in the world has ever heard of an undercover cop. What's going on? He's like, I can't talk about it. How long? I don't know. Is it dangerous? Probably. Well, then why? To be, go detective right away? I don't know. Can we talk about something else? Sure, your father called today. And he's like, yeah. And he just looks all like kind of weirded out. So, detective, I didn't know you were so ambitious. There's a lot you don't know about me.
No.
You fucking bitch! No, I'm just kidding. He gets out of a cab later next day, and he gets his new apartment on the lower backside of Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? The Leather Gay District. He gets in his apartment, and he unpacks his brand new squeaky leather jacket. He bought special for this thing, and he finds in the apartment already is like all this gay porn.
Oh, God.
Magazines. Here's the names. Honcho, Mandate, Blue Boy. The best one's probably Honcho. Anyway, his neighbor cat, he's like disgusted, right? So he's throwing it all away. His neighbor catches him. And remember when I said there was no twinks? There's one. This is him. And he's like a real nice gay playwright. Hi. Hi. I'm Ted Bailey. John Forbes. Doing some house cleaning? Yeah, I found a bunch of porn. See this here? Oh, that was my old neighbor, Bobby. Hey, the landlady sells all that porn, so don't throw it away. You're kidding me. Anyway, right now you realize they're both wearing white tank tops.
Oh.
It means something, too. Like they're both innocent. Okay, it's weird. I'm serious. When you watch this movie, it slaps you in the face, that kind of stuff.
Really?
So they're making friends, going on a coffee date. I only eat seafood. I gotta watch it, or I'm gonna balloon up like Shelley Winters. He's finishing his play. It's a rom-com. Things are tough, but I'll get famous. You know, my roommate, he pays all the bills. He's a dancer. He's on the road in a musical. What about you? And Al Pacino's like, I just quit art school. You know, just moved into Gay Town. I just want to find myself. Did you read about the killings? Homo killer on the prowl. Oh, yeah. All the gay bars are talking about it. I'm scared to death of cruising myself. I won't do it. They'll get that guy. Or the cops will get him. Cops? If they catch him, they'll put him on the vice squad. There was a killing a few months ago. Remember a teacher? They found him in his apartment in like 10 pieces. Al Pacino just like, he's undercover. He just shakes his head. He's just eating soup, being gay. I guess you can't be too careful. And it cuts to this gay street at night, and it's like, the 200 gay dudes outside all the clubs, just all like talking and having a good time. Hard hats and flannels. Al Pacino's walking down the street in his leather jacket. It's brand new, and you can tell. And he's just like walking, trying to fit in. All these guys, they all just keep looking him up and down.
Really?
And it's all point of view. So they're looking you up and down.
Oh.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're in my world now, Grandma.
That's right. He walks into a bar and holy shit, he passes right by Leo Burmester, the Hammer.
From the Abyss?
From the Abyss.
Hey, all right.
And he's like bare-chested and for real this time in one of those strap things where it's all these leather straps that meet in a ring on the chest.
Oh, shit.
And he is just as pale. Al Pacino's looking at all these guys like, Jesus, what am I doing? He goes to the bar. He's just like, orders a water or something. He's just like watching all these bare chesties. They all got their arms around each other, just sharing sweat and pleasant conversation. This bar that he's in is called the Ramrod. He leaves, he gets ogled some more, and he wanders into a small shop, okay? And he goes to this little shelf thing, and he's checking out this collection of different colored handkerchiefs. Oh. Hey, this has got to mean something. Excuse me. Hey, what are these for? And the shopkeeper looks up, and it is the legendary Powers booth.
Hey.
Just running a shop in Gay Town. Mm-hmm. He sounds just as southern and straight as ever. Well, a light blue one in your left back pocket means you want a blowjob. Right pocket means you give one. Green left side says you're a hustler. Right side, you're a buyer. Yellow on left means you give golden showers. And on the right means you receive. Now the red one, whoa, okay, thank you. Well, do you want one? I gotta go home and think about it. He leaves. That's the last you see of Powers Booth. Oh. I'm sure you'll make the right choice, he yells out. So he's at home, just like, what do I want to do? Golden showers? Nah, he's in the mirror. He's painting his eyebrows on, like trying to spiff himself up.
Yeah.
So it cuts to this other gay club called the Eagle's Nest. Just bare-chested bohunks in there just doing poppers. Like, I smell it, then I make you smell it. Then we rub on each other. It's really loud in here. Do you love me? I don't care. Al Pacino's just like sidelining. I don't know anybody yet. He's like sitting on the side, watching everybody, like trying to psych himself up for like getting involved.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to talk to people sometime.
Fucking worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Man.
He keeps getting cruised by gay guys walking by, like stopping in front of him and looking him up and down and then keeping on walking. It's real weird. Everyone is dripping sweat. There's no AC in these places. They like that better. They're checking him out. One of them is like this mulleted guy in a leather captain's hat. That's right. He's the first one you see with those. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, whoa, that guy knows what he is doing. Al Pacino sees him and he's like, no. The guy decides he doesn't like him and moves on. The next one to check him out, no shit, is DeSimone, the cop.
Oh.
Hey.
But he just looks at him and then like keeps walking, walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, he gets noticed by Leo Burmester in his leather straps. And he has a yellow handkerchief around his neck.
Oh.
Ew, he is sweaty too. And he likes Al Pacino. Because he sees he's got a yellow handkerchief in his pocket.
What?
That's what he chose.
He must not know what a golden shower is.
Oh man. He's like, I guess piss. Well, I'm not a bi. I'm not a hustler. I don't want a blowjob, you know. Al Pacino sees him coming, and he's like, oh, God. Here he comes. So Leo walks up, and he's like, hey, you into water sports?
Jesus.
He's actually credited in this movie as water sport. No, I just like to watch. He's like, ha! Later. Doesn't give him any more time. And then he turns around and he like growls into his face. If you like to watch, take that hanky out of your pocket, asshole.
Oh, what a prick.
No, that is Al Pacino in the wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. You don't want to play. Put it away. And we get a little montage of time going by. Okay. We got him in his apartment lifting weights. Okay. And like right in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
Like he's watching himself and he's yelling when he's doing it. Like, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Finally, for the first time, like he does that Pacino growl. Oh. And now he's in a black tank top in a bar. He's like chatting up the bartender. You can't hear it, but he's like obviously more comfortable now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you, I like you. What's going on? And it's weird at this point. Like, there's this guy that's next to him who is a complete doppelganger of him.
Oh.
It's meaningless. It is just, I don't know, but it can't be a coincidence. It's fucking weird. He's wandering through this bar and actually comes face to face with some guy who just grabs his nipple and caresses him. And Al Pacino just stares blankly back at him and accepts it, like making full eye contact.
Oh.
And it's weird. Like, you can tell he's uncomfortable, but he's like, I better not freak out.
Yeah.
He goes out into the park. He's loitering alone in an underpass, making himself available to anyone who may want to murder him. He actually gets cruised again by DeSimone. And it's weird. He stops. They stare at each other. And you have no idea if they know each other or not.
Oh.
And it is so awesome. Like, that adds all this depth to that scene.
It does.
All the different possible feelings that these two guys could be having right now.
Yeah.
And neither of them says a word. And it's like one of the best scenes in the movie. DeSimone, he's a bit older, though, and this young buck catches Al Pacino's attention. This guy is Eric, okay, played by Larry Atlas, who is a cartoon sculpture of sleaze and hunk. He's got that shaggy, dark, welcome back Cotter hair. Al Pacino looks back at DeSimone and then follows Eric Rossman. And you actually feel bad for DeSimone until you remember he's a fucking piece of shit. The next day, he goes into this really out-of-the-way bar. Like, real out of the way. He goes in and meets Paul Sorvino,
Okay.
who is shooting pool. Hey, how you doing? Oh, good. I'm good. And you're like, oh, yeah, he's a cop. Like, for a minute, you forget that. And you're like, I hope he's going to make it okay in the gay world. He's just trying to penetrate the lifestyle, Yeah. Oh, he's a cop. That's right. I knew we were here for something. Yeah, hey, the bartenders, they're giving me information on, on like who the regulars are, what they're like peeing on guys or fisting, And we haven't seen any fisting yet, by the way. Will we? Have I got a surprise for you? Jesus. Paul Sorvino's like, good. What else? Oh, there's some guy. He owns all the gay bars in town. Well, some of them. His name's Tommy. Tommy the Joker. Are you serious? Yeah. What? You telling me you don't know who Tommy the Joker is? I don't know who he is. Well, I do, and I can't move on him. Why? I ask the questions. And then this thing happens. Al Pacino goes, oh, you dropped your chalk. And he gets down to pick it up, and his face is like at crotch level with Paul Sorvino's crotch. He gets down to pick it up, and Paul Sorvino visibly but subtly recoils.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
Yeah,
and all
it's weird.
He was just picking up his chalk.
Yeah.
But it's like Paul Sorvino, being the guy who sent him into the gay underworld, is now like, kind of grossed out by him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you later. Hey, watch yourself. Yeah, you bet. It's Al Pacino. You bet. We cut to later that night, and we're in the park. Gay park. They're all there, man. Okay, and there's Eric Rossman. And he is a stud. He's a hunk. Guy that cruised Al Pacino. Well, now we are with him by himself.
Okay.
He's cruising everybody else, and he's actually kind of scary. He's walking through all these guys like,
Bitch.
like if you're gonna be gay with him, like you better have like a 12-inch cock. Oh God! Like he passes guys who see him and then look away because they know they don't.
Yeah.
And he's just like cruising by all of them. And the music's all slow and it's like, chin, 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 chin. There's danger out tonight. You're like, oh man, he is dangerous. I don't want to get fucked by him. There's this one Jerry curl guy who's like got like big front teeth, looks at him, and then is heartbroken because he'll never know him. Yeah, Eric basically walks through him. Like, he's so meaningless to him. And then finally Eric chooses. He finds a dark stranger in the shadows wearing sunglasses. He walks up to him and is like, hey, great night. Yes, it is.
Oh.
You want to get a beer? I don't know. It's kind of late. I'd invite you up to my apartment, but I don't have AC. Oh, that's too bad. How about the park? That's fine. So they walk into the dark bushes, okay? There's like all these weird like little dirt paths out in the dark in the park.
Yeah.
I can't stop rhyming. I don't know what to do. And there are more guys out there in the bushes, okay? Just all out there just finding what they need. Okay? They wander really far, and you just hear moaning off in the bushes everywhere. And you're like, man, this movie does not let up for a minute. You are constantly bombarded with gay.
Yeah.
So they're still walking, and it's actually so dark you can't even see who we're with. You know, we're with the stranger and Eric, but you can't even see their faces. And the stranger's just like, who's here? I'm here. You're here.
Uh-oh.
And they find a secluded spot, And Eric turns around to look at the guy, and the guy's gone. Where are you, man? And he's like smiling, like, oh, we're playing games. Where are you? And man, it is dark. You can barely see his face, but you can tell that maybe he's starting to not like this.
Oh.
And you just hear the stranger like, off in the dark.
Jeez.
Don't play games with me, man.
Do you love me? Are you playing your love game with me?
Love games?
Love games? Where are you? I'm waiting for you. And Eric's just like, and then gets stabbed in the back.
Oh.
Stab, stab, stab. Dicks in butts. Again. That subliminal thing keeps happening. It's like, yeah, we get it, Friedkin. And we cut to Al Pacino walking down the street in his leather and his sunglasses. It's night, and he is all in now, baby. Okay, and God bless him, he's wearing his own leather captain's hat.
Woo.
Like, he saw those, and he was like, I like that. I gotta get me one of those. Hey, Powers Booth. What does this mean? It means you like to shit. Anyway, he goes and visits Karen, and he's wearing all this stuff.
Oh, God.
And he bangs her.
Yeah?
Real rough.
Oh,
The next morning, it's breakfast time, and she can see that he's like, man, he's tired and maybe kind of strung out. She's like, you know what? Why don't you lie down for a little while? And he walks over to her and he grabs her. And he's like, Karen, look, just don't let me lose you. And she kisses him. She's like, I love you. You're not going to lose me. Come on. I just love you so much. Later, it's happy gay time with his neighbor, Ted Bailey. Ha ha, my roommate's coming home tomorrow. Well, that should make you happy. It's weird. Like, they are real friends.
Yeah.
You know?
wow.
He's undercover, but he's best buddies with his gay neighbor, Ted Bailey. And he is pretty much gay already now. Well, that should make you happy. That's what he says to him. And you notice it. It's well played.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of really shitty dialogue in this movie, though. Like, talk about hamburgers and seafood. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, he called me and told me to get a job. Forget my writing. He says it's my turn to work now. And I could have finished my play by Labor Day. So tell him. I did. He doesn't care. Or we see a newspaper headline like, knifing in park. Homo killer. Maybe he's right, though. I do suck. I guess I'll go to work. And Al Pacino, who genuinely cares about Ted, he's just like, oh, Ted. I wish I could help you. Do something for you. Do something for you. And you're like, what? And then Ted goes, you do? And it just cuts. Like nothing came out of that. Cuts at nighttime, and Al Pacino is jingling and jangling his way into the mine shaft. He's all ready to get sweaty. He walks in, and there's like 200 cops in there, all making out and getting it on.
Fuck.
Like, hoo-ah. One of them is like, sucking a nightstick. Like, real deep up and down. They're like beat cops, state troopers, riot police. They're all like pushing each other's heads down and making it all weird.
Yeah.
Al Pacino's like, what? Like he is just Danny Zuko lost in an ocean of gay cops. One of them sees him and like, yeah, kind of like you. He's like watching him from far away. Anyway, he gets noticed and a bouncer is like, where you going, friend? Gets up in his face. What do you mean? You got a knife? A gun? Why? Why? What's wrong? You a police officer? What? This is precinct night. And I think you got the wrong attitude and I'm afraid you'd better leave. And Pacino just goes, right. And he just turns around and walks out like, oh man, he fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, that kid that noticed him follows him out. And Al Pacino stops and waits for him. He turns around. He's like, you looking for something? Huh? Well, if that bulge in your pants ain't a knife, let's take a walk. And Al's just like,
easy now, fuzzy little man Peach.
Not tonight, no. And he leaves. So this other kid's just like, oh man, denied. So with his spot blown up, he goes and spends the night with Karen. Nothing else to do. They're in bed as she goes down on him, and he's just staring off into space.
Oh, weird.
And while he's doing that, you can hear like all these men like hooting and hollering like in his head. You can hear like the music from the club, all the club noise.
Damn.
Yeah. Like he's changing. The next day we see that kid that liked him. You know, the bulge in your pants guy? Mm-hmm. And he's in this high-end clothing shop, like dealing drugs to the hoity-toity owner.
Uh-huh.
And then we follow the owner in his nice Mercedes, who later that night pulls up outside of a seedy peep show.
Oh.
The best kind. He goes in and, yep, gay, sleaze.
Yeah.
As far as the eye could see. Everybody's like, there's all these guys like loitering in the hallway, just going to a peep show and just hanging out in the hallway outside the doors.
Weird.
I've got some very interesting interior design ideas.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so he goes in and he sees our killer, our stranger in the sunglasses, walk into one of the jerk-off booths, and he just follows him in. Like no one said a word. Inside, it is dark. And the killer drops a quarter into the bang box and gay porn rolls. Yeah, come on. And by now, watching this movie, like you are now beaten into submission by all of this. Like you're just like, it doesn't shock you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't weird you out. You're just like, well, of course. That's what life is now. You know? Anyway, they get it on and the killer just pulls a knife and stabs him to death.
Oh.
You made me do that. You made me do that. The killer wipes the blood off of his hands. He doesn't do a very good job. Still a lot of blood. But he pulls a quarter out and drops another one into the bang box again. And then he leaves. So the porn keeps rolling.
Yeah.
So no one will go in. You know, I don't know.
Right.
Elsewhere, Al Pacino gets home after a long, hard, gay day. He like tosses this leather cap on the couch. Like, man, this is hard. It's not so much hard, it's tiring. Ted and his roommate Gregory are fighting in the next apartment about how much Ted is a freeloading loser playwright. And he like sits down and turns on some cartoons. It's just screaming at each other through the wall. And it like, God, it drives him crazy. He gets up and he leaves. The next day, Captain Edelson gets threatened with his job by the chief of police, you know. Hey, you're going to catch this guy or I'm going to find somebody who will. He's like, yes, sir. He leaves. And his detectives show him the bloody quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Evidence, right? They found the blood. It matches the victim, but the fingerprint on the coin does not.
Fuck yeah.
And then it cuts to like the most full-on gay clubbing Al Pacino in this movie. And like the big famous song from this movie is going. It's like, shake down, 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 down. And Al Pacino's there. He's just wearing his black tank top, but he's all sweaty. And he's just like, he is a full-fledged member of the crew now.
Wow.
Okay, he's just like walking around schmoozing.
Yeah.
He goes up to the bar. Yeah, there's another guy right next to him. Just looks just like him. Okay, like it has to be intentional. He turns to the right and he sees this huge wooden rig in the club, like something somebody built because they are men. And he goes to look and see what it is, and it's a harness, like a sex swing type thing. Like it holds a guy in it, spread eagled.
Oh.
And this guy who's in it, his buddy, there's a whole crowd of guys watching.
Okay.
One guy is just like Vaselining his whole fist and arm.
Oh, Jesus.
And he's just like rubbing it on there, and you can hear pig fat dripping.
This is easy.
Now, fun fact, okay, the movie poster for Cruising is just like, it's, some maybe noirish stuff happening on the bottom, but the entire big top portion of it is just a big red picture of Al Pacino's face, like with a real intense look on his face. And that picture, the poster for this movie, is Al Pacino watching some guy get fisted. That is absolutely what is going on. Anyway, the guy inserts fist
In the movie?
It is off camera, but you hear the pig fat dripping and moaning. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, give me a Pepsi." The crowd loves it. The crowd goes wild. Yeah. Al Pacino sees that kid that liked him. He asks a bartender. The guy's like, "Oh yeah, his name's Skip Lee. He's a bad dude, man. Stay away from him. He's getting thrown out of places and shaking things down, whatever." Al Pacino gets hit on by this other guy. He just walks up and is like, "Hey baby, what's up?" It's loud in the club. He's like, "I'm with someone." And the guy just laughs. He's like, "Aren't we all?"
Don't touch him! Don't touch him!
Watching this happen is that mulleted captain's hat guy from before.
Oh.
One of the first guys that cruised him. He's watching him. Anyway, this guy's like, "You want to dance?" And then Al Pacino dances with this guy. He accepts
all right.
by like fist gripping him, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers did at the beginning of Predator.
Oh, the big muscle slap
Yeah.
thing? Oh, damn.
Like, yeah, let's go. That's how they walk out onto the dance floor. And man, they just start cutting a rug together. Al Pacino, he's having a good time. It is undeniable.
Yeah.
Okay? This guy he's dancing with pulls out a handkerchief and puts it in his own mouth, leans his face to Al Pacino's, who grabs the other end of it with his mouth. And they're both like connected by it.
Dang.
And they're breathing in. It's got poppers on it. It's got amyl nitrate on it. And Al Pacino clearly knows this. All right. And he like takes a big whiff and he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, he's feeling that." And he's like pumping his fist in the air while he's dancing with his man. "Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm in the dark here." Ooh-ah. Yeah. He's high as hell, okay? And the music's like, "In the heat of the moment, you're gonna be gay. In the heat of the moment." Skip Lee's over there. He's watching him too. Everybody in the bar is like, "Hey, who's that Al Pacino guy?" He looks like he's having fun. I like fun. I like nice times. The guy with the mullet, his Stuart Richards, that was his name. They all just love him. Al Pacino. Everybody's just, ooh, who can blame him? So then outside the club, two guys are leaving for sex, somewhere else. And then in a car, there's cops, like staking it out. Turns out Al Pacino's in the back seat now. And he's like, "Hey, that's him. That's Skip Lee. That's the guy that followed me. Hey, you should check him out. I'm hearing he's a bad guy." Then it cuts to the next day, and there's a game of 3-card Monte going on. "Yeah, come on. Find the, queen." Playing it is Da Vinci, baby.
All right.
Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, she's an informant, so another detective comes and shakes her down for info about this guy, Skip Lee. Who is he? "Oh, yeah, he works at a steakhouse downtown. It's called the Iron Horse." "All right, I got it." "Hey, did Captain Elson take care of those 2 cops for me?" He's working on it." "Well, I got something else. My friends were at that peep show, and they say they heard singing." And he's like, "What? What do you mean?" "Yeah, some nursery rhyme, like who's here, we're here, something like that." Yeah, it's like, ooh. So people know about that now,
Yeah.
Cuts to the steakhouse, and ooh, it's a fine one. Fine dining. 2 detectives walk in, and one of them's Al Bundy. That's right.
Hey.
They get sad. They order beers and steaks. It's a real nice place. They look all over the place. Everybody's eating steaks, and they are all using the steak knives that the murders were committed with. Remember, like, during the first killing, you're like, what an unremarkable knife.
Yeah.
And it turns out, like, that was the point.
Yeah.
Oh.
William Friedkin, man. He knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. So they see Skip. He's, like, bussing tables, and it just cuts to the cops and the coroner, comparing the knife they stole from the restaurant to the murder weapon, the probable murder weapon. He's like, yeah, this could totally be it, you guys. So Captain Edelson meets Al Pacino later on the docks, and he gives him the steak knife. He's like, your man's carrying this. This is what you're looking for, okay? So go do whatever you're doing. And it just immediately cuts to night, and Al Pacino is leaving a club with Skip, like to go get it on. They go to this motel, and there's cops in cars listening to their wire that's on Al Pacino, not Bundy. They go up into this motel room, and over the radio, they can just hear Al Pacino going like, yeah, tie me up. Tie me up, man. And the kid's like, that's too weird, man. I don't get into that. Yeah, but I do. You want me to tie you up and then what? Whatever you want. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then the wire stops working. There's a and they lose the feed. So they're all like, that's it, let's go. And they start rushing the hotel. Lots of cops rushing up the stairs, okay? While they're doing that, you can actually hear some voice. It doesn't sound like the killer's voice, but somebody's like, who's here? Who's here?
Oh.
Yeah. And they just walk up to their hotel room and they knock on it. And then Skip opens it up and he's naked. And then bam, they bust in. Skip is naked and he's getting, arrested. And there's Al Pacino naked and hogtied on the bed.
Oh, Jesus.
Just like the first victim. Okay. So Al Bundy goes over and starts untying Al Pacino, who says, what are you doing here? You came in too soon. What are you doing here? Al Bundy's like, did he try anything, Peg? No. Did he show you his knife? He's like, no. It just cuts to the interrogation room, okay? There's the captain, there's like 3 or 4 detectives, and then there's Al Pacino and Skip at the table, and they're both they haven't blown his cover. Mm-hmm. They're both being interrogated. And the captain's like, what are you guys doing up there? What were you doing? Skip's like, nothing, man. You were going to stick him, weren't you? Al Pacino's like, hey, what we were doing up in that room, that's none of your business. You had no right to come in there. Captain and more cops, they're all yelling at him and stuff. One of them takes the steak knife and stabs it down into the table. This is what you had in mind for him, huh? And the cops are leaning on Skip so hard. We're going to put you away. We already got enough to put you away for like 3 years. Hey, this guy cruised me, man. I don't even know him. It was his room. Is that right? And Al Pacino's just like, I want a lawyer. I'm out of order. You're out of order. One cop goes over and opens the door, and holy shit. He opens the door, and there's just this giant black guy in a cowboy hat and a black jock strap. They're in the police station. He's just standing there waiting to come in. And he looks pretty good. Kind of Beastmastery. Your mom is like, oh, look at that. Anyway, Skip and Al Pacino both see this guy, and they're like, what is happening? The guy just walks in real slow and punches Al Pacino in the face.
Oh.
Like, knocks him down. He goes flying. He's like, what was that? What was that? The black guy just walks out of the room. Never said a word. Hey, why'd he hit me? Did he show you his knife? Who paid for the room? Who was that? And it turns out that was indeed a real cop. Okay. And they really used to do that in the 80s in that precinct to discredit witness testimony when they were leaning on perps too hard. Like if anybody tried to tell on the cops that were like maybe abusing them in the interrogation room, they would always tell that story. And then this black guy in a jockstrap and a cowboy hat came in and punched me in the face. And other people that they were telling the story to would be like, that didn't happen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And that actor was the real guy. They used to do that stuff. It's to undermine their credibility.
That's fucked up.
It is. Who paid? Al Pacino's just like, I did. All right, let's separate him. So they take Al Pacino out, and he just goes into this other room and starts watching his face. You know, he's like, he's done. In that same room is the black cowboy just sitting in his jockstrap reading a newspaper by the window. You came in too soon, you guys. You were too soon. He walks up to the cowboy. He's like, hey, you really hit me, man. And he's got like a bloody lip and everything. He just takes the cowboy's hat and throws it out the window and walks away from him. Cops are in there showing pictures of all the murder victims to Skip. And he starts freaking out. I don't know what you're trying to pin on me, man. And then in walks the cowboy again. And Skip just starts crying as soon as he sees him.
Oh, no.
The guy just walks up to him and, I mean, he slaps him so hard. He does it twice. The chief walks in and he's like, why were you in Martino's store earlier in the day? I was just selling him grass, man. And then all the cops are like, get your pants down.
Oh.
What? You're going to jerk off for a semen sample. And he's like, oh, no, man. Al Bundy gets up in his face, raises his fist, and just goes, get it off, pig! Anyway, it turns out his prints don't match the one on the quarter.
Ah, shit.
They still made him jerk off, though. So they know he's not the killer. The chief walks in, looks at the captain, he's like, you got nothing. Like he's going to get fired.
Oh.
Later, Al Pacino in his full leather gear goes to Karen's house, and it is like horribly awkward because he is so different now, and they end up breaking up.
Oh, no.
You know, she's like, why don't we cut loose a while? And he's like, yeah. He just leaves. Like, he's all despondent, too.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and meets the captain secretly. He's like, man, why'd you let those guys work me over like that? Huh? Yeah? That guy really hit me. Captain's like, welcome to the detective division. It had to be convincing. Hey, that kid was innocent. You worked him over like he shot the president, man. You fingered him. Did he finger you? He's like, no. You came in too soon. Am I right? Listen, Captain, I didn't come on this job just to shit can some guy just because he's gay. Right? It's going to be like that. There's going to be a lot of days where that happens. It's just the job. I can't do it. I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it, Captain. Things are happening to me. Like he's falling apart. And the captain just levels with him. He's like, I need you. You are my partner. And you can't let me down. I am counting on you. So the shame works. And Al Pacino is talked back into it. He leaves. But as he's leaving, hey, Pacino! He throws him a book full of pictures, like mugshots, yearbook photos. He's like, these are the yearbook photos from the university that the professor taught at, who was murdered. Mm-hmm. And everybody in these photos had him as a teacher. So see if you recognize anyone. So he leaves and he's at home going through this book. He's like, no. And then, whoa, he sees this guy, Stuart Richards. And he's sitting there trying to remember where he knows him from. And he's the mulleted captain hat guy that cruised Al Pacino.
Oh, shit.
Who was watching him. And it hits Al Pacino like bricks. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he starts doing fucking detective shit. Calls the school and gets his address and goes to find him. Cuts to Stuart jogging. Okay. Like we have watched like over an hour of like, sweaty gays licking nipples, fisting and breathing into each other's mouths. And now the detective story starts. All right. So Stuart, he's in his apartment. He's like lifting weights. He's all bare chested. It's Patrick Bateman. Okay. In 1980. And he's got a friend there watching. And it's William Russ. That's right. Luke from The Unholy.
Hey. All right.
Oh, Father, you sound like a gangster. Go listen to that episode.
Yep.
These are really gross cigarettes you got here, man. Stuart's like, yeah, well, what do you expect from 50 cents a pack? Oh, man, I didn't know it was getting that rough for you. I think my old man's about to draw the line. He turned me down on the car. And Luke from The Unholy is like, oh, yeah? He doesn't understand why I'd want a car all summer to do research in a library that's like right across the street from where I live. Oh, so Stewie, what you gonna do then? Hey, don't call me Stewie. Luke's like, whoa, okay, sorry. I guess I'll just continue living within my meager means and continue my thesis on being gay. What about you? Me, I'm going to start a nightclub. If you get tired of studying, maybe my old man can adopt you. You're too kind. And Luke leaves. Al Pacino is spying on him from the park across the street. And then he just follows him, like, throughout his day to the library. He's all around. And he really blends in with guys that are randomly sitting on walls and rails. They even do this weird thing where Stewart walks by, and you realize that Al Pacino is sitting on this railing, but this whole screen fades to black, except for, like, this oval around Al Pacino. Like, just in case you didn't see him sitting there. But it is odd, because he's watching him as he leaves to go to the library, and then when he gets to the library, Al Pacino's there waiting. It's a little odd that he beat him there.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get this weird thing where in Central Park, it's like gay day. And it's just like the leather bars, but no one's wearing leather. Everybody's wearing like tank tops and shorts. They're playing frisbee. But everybody is also like sidelining, like in a club or a bar, just laying on their own blanket by themselves. And everybody's like watching each other.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. But nobody's drunk and nobody's wearing leather. Oh, yeah, except Al Pacino. He shows up in his like jeans and his jacket. And he spreads his own blanket out and he lays down. And over across the yard is Stewart, who's wearing his sunglasses. And he's watching Al. Later, Stewart leaves his apartment and Al Pacino breaks in to look for murder stuff, you know? And he gets in by, the guy's got a fan, like a box fan in his window.
Okay.
And he just sticks something in there and blocks it and then reaches in and opens the window. And apparently, William Friedkin was like, I need a way for this cop to get into this guy's apartment. He was talking to his real cop buddy, who was like, oh, this is all you do. It's like, I did that 1,000,000 times. Anyway, it's like a normal apartment, a college student, you know, not a whole lot there. Pictures of baby Stewart and his dad, but the top of the photo is ripped off. So you can only see baby Stewart and you don't see who his father is. Mm-hmm. Or like he hates his father. Mm-hmm. And Al Pacino's like looking through his stuff. He just finds, you know, some spooky art and stuff like that. He opens up his closet. Leather! He's going through it all, you know, looking at his kit. And then at the bottom of the closet, there's a box, and it's full of envelopes. He reads them. They are all letters addressed to Mr. John Richards. None of them have stamps. They haven't been mailed. He opens one and reads it, and it says, I want with all my heart to make you proud of me. I desperately need to have your respect. Blah, blah, blah. We just go on repeating mistakes of the past. Your son, Stewart.
Oh.
He reads another one. Yesterday in the park, I saw an enormous dark shape. It hung suspended and dripping from the trees like a mass of jelly. Jelly. At its center was a bright red glow. I wanted to show it to you, Father. Al Pacino's reading this like, whoa. I'm in the dark here. What do we got here? It cuts to the bus. Al Pacino's in the back watching Stewart reading a newspaper that's all about this gay killer. Stewart actually notices him. And he's like, oh, you. I know you. And he goes home. He's milling around his apartment, starts playing piano, and is damn good at it.
Oh.
While he's doing that, he notices his fan is askew. So he walks over to the window to fix it, put it back in place, and that's when he looks out the window and sees Al Pacino out in the park, leaning over the wall, staring right at him.
Oh, shit.
In his window, okay?
Lord.
And he sees Al Pacino. Al Pacino, like, cracks a big old grin at him. Like, yeah, I'm watching you, baby. And Stewart's like, gulp. Stewart runs to his closet, looks at the box of letters. They're all messed up and askew, like they've all been read.
Oh, jeez.
And while he's doing that, he kind of like shakes a little bit, and you hear something going on in his head, and you can hear the sounds of somebody being like, beaten! Ah, po, po, po.
Oh, no.
Like it's in his head. Like, is it him being beaten? Maybe that's why he hates his dad?
By his dad, yeah.
So he's like, that's it. he just goes out. He leaves. He goes out into the park. He goes to a bench and meets an older gentleman, like a businessman, just sitting on a bench. He sits down next to him, and things are all totally tense and awkward. And he just turns and he's like, "Father, I need to talk to you." And this guy turns and looks at him. When that happens, we see a flash of Lauren Lucas on the bed begging for his life. "Please, please, no. I wish just once, Father. I wish you'd say something positive to me." When he says that, we see Eric Rossman in the woods about to get stabbed in the back, like looking around. "Don't play games with me, man." Mm-hmm. Love games? "Father, I've tried everything you wanted, but it's never good enough." His dad finally turns his head and looks at him, and he just says, "I've taken it for granted that you understood, Stewie."
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
And this is a very tense and freaky scene. Remember, he was like, "Don't call me Stewie," to his friend. So this tense freakiness is actually quite a breath of fresh air after all of the sweat. And butts. His dad's just staring at him. And he looks at him and says, "You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do." And it just cuts to Stuart sitting alone in his apartment. Like, fuck, I know what I have to do. So he gets up and pulls out his boots, his leather boots. Reaches in one of them and pulls out a steak knife, baby.
Oh.
Shit.
Steak. Al Pacino's in his apartment. "In leather. Ready to go out." He's like, "Drinking." He leaves. He goes to Ted and Gregory's door, okay, and he knocks. The door opens up, and it's long-haired, young-ass James Remar. Raiden in his undies. Who's like, "Yes? Is Ted here?" "Is Ted here?" "Oh, you must be the famous John Forbes. You must be Greg." And Raiden's like, he treats him like shit and accuses him of trying to drag Ted down, you know? "Yeah, well, sorry you struck out tonight. Ted's not here." And he goes to shut the door. Al Pacino sticks his foot in. "Where is he?" "I got him a job, if you must know. It's good for him, because if he's out working, he's not out getting involved." And when he says that, he like looks Al Pacino up and down. You know what I mean? Al Pacino's just staring at him. And he goes, "No. I don't know what you mean." And he goes to walk away, and then Raiden's like, "No! Well, Ted's too sensitive for involvements. We found that out with the last piece of trash that moved in down the hall." Mm-hmm. Al Pacino stops. And he turns real slow. "It's that room, I suppose, you know, the kind of people that it attracts." Al Pacino starts coming at him, like slowly, and he's like, "You bastard." And then Raiden just yells, "Pussy!" and slams the door shut. Al Pacino starts like kicking and beating on the door. And he yells out like, "Come on, you cocksucker! I'll call the police, asshole!" And Al Pacino's just like, "Fuck!" And he like thinks about it, and he walks away. He walks back to his apartment. Inside Raiden's apartment, he hears that. He hears Al Pacino's door shut. And he's all flustered, you know. So he quietly goes and opens his front door to peek out. And then, boom, Al Pacino busts in. And he just busts in already yelling, "You motherfucker!" And they start struggling with each other. And Raiden's like, "You aren't normal." Al Pacino answers with, "You're shit! You're dog shit!" And like, this is the time when William Friedkin let Al Pacino off the chain. Yeah. So they beat the shit out of each other. Raiden actually throws Al Pacino. He falls. He goes down. And then Raiden turns around and pulls out a butcher knife from his kitchen. And he's like, "You want to play? I'll play, motherfucker." And Al Pacino stops and he's like, "Ah!" And he's like throwing chairs and stuff. He's like a mad dog behind cage bars. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have a knife. Mm-hmm. He had a knife. I didn't know what to do. The Raiden's just like, "Well, get out!" So Al Pacino just leaves and clinks his ass down the street. He gets off a bus and goes through a park to Stewie's building. So he's standing there at the doorbell, the buzzers, all the buttons for all the apartments. He's trying to find Richard's. While he's looking at that, Luke and some guy leave the building. He finds Stewart's button and he buzzes it. Nothing happens. He starts to walk away and then bzzz, it buzzes back.
Oh.
And he runs out and looks up to Stewart's window, and there is Stewart in his full leather gear and his captain's hat staring at him. And then he turns off his light and leaves his building. And they're staring at each other from across the park. And Al Pacino's smiling at him like, let's do this. Stewart just turns and walks away, goes out into the park. Pacino follows him and finds him sitting on a bench, waiting and smiling. Al Pacino walks up. He's all starts walking up to him like he's tough. Like he starts peacocking him. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, what do we got here?
He sits down next to him. He pulls out a cigarette, but he has no lighter. He walks up. He's like, you got a light? Stewart stares at him for 10 seconds and then hands him a lighter. Thanks. And it is awkward, man. They sit down together. He sits next to him, and they're both smoking, and it's all silent and weird, as if they like each other but don't know how to start talking.
Right.
Okay.
Al Pacino takes a big drag of his cigarette, looks him up and down, and then flicks it away. The whole thing was just an act. Stewart flicks his cigarette away, and we see a shot of both cigarettes landed in the same spot. Maybe they're not so different. Al Pacino actually picks up Stewart's hat and puts it on. And he's just sitting there, looking at him. And he goes, who's here? I'm here. You're here. Stewart turns and looks at him all serious. You're very funny. You got a place? Yeah, I have a place. It's not available right now. How about the tunnel? I don't like public places. Oh, don't worry, Dorothy. No one's around. So they get up and they clink away together off into the darkness. They go into a graffiti gay tunnel. And they find their spot and they just face each other and start taking off their clothes.
Shit.
Stewart, they're all unbuttoning their shirts, taking off their stuff. They're all wearing leather bracelet gauntlets and chains hanging off of them, They're full leather gear. They got to take all that shit off too, okay? So it takes them a little while to get naked. While they start, though, Stewart's like, how big are you? Al Pacino goes, party size! What are you into?
I go anywhere.
I don't do anything.
That's cool.
What?
That is what they said. It's what? What did that mean? And how did Al Pacino know what that meant?
That's cool.
I think it means I don't do just anything.
No. What are you into?
I go anywhere.
I don't do anything.
That's cool.
And then Al's like, hips or lips? Come on, hips or lips. And then Stewart unzips his pants. And Al Pacino actually drops his pants. Okay? Does everybody understand that? He even picks them up and folds them and sets them down.
They're nice pants. And he's breathing heavy and he's staring. He walks right up to Stewart.
And he just goes,
Bashful?
no!
Then get him down. I want to see the world.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Go for it.
And then Stewart bends down and starts pushing his pants down around his ankles, but doing it in a way that he doesn't break eye contact with Al Pacino. So he's bent over, he's got his pants around his ankles, and then Al Pacino steps in and stomps his foot down on his pants right between his ankles and holds them there.
Whoa.
Stewart's like, oh shit. He pulls out his knife and goes to stab Al Pacino, who sidesteps it and stabs him with his own knife.
Fuck yeah.
Stewart goes down. He's laying there bleeding. Al Pacino's like, oh, God damn. He goes over to the wall and leans against it and slides down and slinks to his ass. Like, I got him.
Yeah.
It just cuts to the hospital. Stewart is alive and in bed. He's got a big old bandage on his chest where he got stabbed. And in the room with him are Captain Edelson and Al Pacino. Stewart, the man you attacked the other night was a cop. Stewart's laying in bed and he's like, he attacked me. Al Pacino's just like, fucking staring at him. We know you killed Martino Perry. Your fingerprint was on the quarter at the peep show. We're going to indict you, okay? The upside for you is you do 20 to life. That's all you're going to get is an indictment. If you confess to these murders, we'll reduce your sentence to 8 years. What the fuck?
What?
The DA's cool with it. And then Stewart looks at him and goes, I never killed anyone. Like in the voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the captain just looks over at Al Pacino like, what? And it just cuts to them leaving. All right, so, Al Pacino, all you got to do is you're going to have to go through your whole testimony to a grand jury, tell them the story of the attack. It's fine. It's just a formality. We'll tell them about your assignment. They'll claim it was necessary force, and you'll walk away. Captain, I appreciate this chance you gave me. You were there for me. I appreciate you. Yeah, you'll get your orders soon enough. For now, why don't you take the rest of the week off? So Al Pacino starts leaving. Hey, Pacino! He turns. Welcome to the detective division. Thanks, Captain Edelman. Edelstein. And it's like this dumbass attempt at a joke.
Oh.
In the beginning, he was like, Captain Edelstein? It's Edelson.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's fucking dumb as hell. Then we see Al Bundy and his cop buddy cleaning out Stewart's apartment for the DA. Okay? Putting in everything in boxes. So Al Bundy's like, I got a box of old letters here, Peg. They're all addressed to John Richards. And Luke is sitting there with him. And he's like, oh, yeah, that was his father. Well, why didn't he mail the letters? He's been dead for 10 years.
Oh.
I guess he never got over it. He talked about him like he was alive. Like, remember when Stewart said to him, yeah, my dad said no to the car.
Yeah.
Right.
And Luke was just like, oh, yeah? Like, he already knew.
Yeah.
And was just letting his friend be how he is.
It's fucking sad.
It is so sad. And it cuts away to sirens and cops at Al Pacino's apartment building.
Oh.
Captain Edelson walks in. There are beat cops everywhere. He passes one of them. It's Desher. Get up here. I want to show you my nightstick. The captain walks into this apartment, and there's DeSimone. It's like, oh, Captain, the landlady, she found the body. The guy downstairs heard screaming. Who is he? Who's the body? The name's Ted Bailey.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we see his body. And he's laying on his bathroom floor with about 50 stab wounds.
Oh,
Shit.
fuck.
He must have been hit when he got home from work. There's no signs of a struggle. And it doesn't look like anything's stolen. Captain sits down. He must have known the killer, though. The murder weapon, we think it's a kitchen knife. And his roommate named Raiden, he was in Mortal Kombat 2. We got an alarm out for him. Maybe a lover's quarrel, huh? The captain is just like, Jesus, did we even get the killer?
Yeah.
And he's just staring, and he notices DeSimone's badge. And he's like, DeSimone? Yes, sir. 6th Precinct, right? Yes, sir. He just stares at him. Like he knows that this guy is like dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
Who lives down the hall? It's apartment registered to a John Forbes. The landlady thinks it's a fake name, though. She hasn't seen him in a couple of days. And the captain looks up at him, and he's like, wait, what was that name again? John Forbes. And the captain's like, fuck. He gets up, and he looks at the body. Oh, Jesus. And we just fade to a leather-bound, tough-looking Danny Zuko guy we see from behind just clinking across the street and walking into the mine shaft, just like we saw in the beginning of the film. Mm-hmm. And then we cut to Karen getting home. And she finds Al Pacino in her apartment in the bathroom shaving. And she's like, hey, when did you get in? He's like, I'm back. I'm back, Karen. He's all sweet again.
Oh.
He's got shaving cream all over his face. He turns and he's like, can I stay? She's like, sure. I'm glad you're here. He's like, listen, I want to tell you everything. Why don't you let me finish shaving? She's like, okay. And she walks out into her living room where she finds all of his leather gay clothes that he stripped off when he got home, and she picks up his jacket, and his captain's hat, like he brought it into her apartment, and his sunglasses, and she like puts on his sunglasses. She's just screwing around with this weird stuff that he has, puts on his jacket and puts on the captain's hat. And she looks ridiculous, but she's playing around, And it turns out that William Friedkin, he's like, in a movie that's all about transformation and so many people transforming, I wanted to let Karen Allen do it too. So she's wearing his stuff, and then we just see him shaving in the mirror. He's like, shaving. He's got a serious look on his face. And then he just stops shaving and looks right at us in the mirror. And we fade to a river tugboat. And the credits roll, baby.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. So what do we think that meant?
Huh.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, fucking weird.
What's with Ted getting killed? Who killed him? What's the connection?
Why did Al Pacino look at us in the mirror like he's the killer?
Why would he kill Ted?
Because he's been the killer the whole time. This movie, the ending of this movie is intentionally left ambiguous so that you have no idea who the killer is, and you do absolutely suspect that Al Pacino is the killer. Now, here's another thing. But how can he be the killer when the killer has always been speaking in this weird, funny voice that was Stu's dad's voice?
Right.
Yeah.
Stu had the steak knife in his boot. He is obviously the killer, right?
Right.
Now, when they film all these murders, you see this dark stranger who's speaking in that voice. You keep seeing him, and every time there is a murder, he's played by a different actor. When Lauren Lucas got killed in the hotel in the beginning, Eric Rossman played the killer. Mm-hmm. Eric Rossman is the second victim who died in the woods. And when he was killed, the killer was played by Lauren Lucas. That actor.
What?
Like, they played each other's killers. But they're wearing sunglasses and they're in the dark. Okay, you never really clearly see their face. But it's kind of like, is that the same guy?
Yeah.
And this is done.
Are you supposed to be open to the possibility that there's multiple killers?
Multiple killers.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Like that Danny Zuko leather gay clinking across the street at the end. Like, you have no idea who he is. Even William Friedkin says, I don't know who it is. It's like there will always be another killer.
Yeah.
Right.
But who the hell killed Ted Bailey? Who the hell knew him but Al Pacino?
Right.
Yeah.
Al Pacino is also reciting the nursery rhyme.
Well,
at certain times.
Did they hear it clearly enough to tell him?
The only time anybody brought it up that wasn't murdered was Da Vinci,
right?
Who said, my friends heard it. So that's the red herring way of finding out that Al Pacino knew the nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
What if it was Al Pacino the entire time? Because the voice is not Stewart's voice. It's his dad's voice. So is the victim actually hearing that voice? Or is that what's going through the killer's head? It's just a voice to fuck with us.
Yeah, I'm not going to think too deep about it.
No.
In the end, it's supposed to be multiple killers.
Right, okay. The voice thing still goes against the logic, though.
Not if it's the voice that only you are hearing.
Yeah, I don't know what to think, man.
It was obviously Stewart. I don't like the end.
So far.
Why did he do that? I don't think it
Why
was
did he do what?
necessary. Leave it ambiguous.
Yeah. The only time Stewart actually played the killer was in the Peep Show.
It was because of all the stuff they cut out. That's it. It has to be. Good job, though, man.
Yeah, great job.
Oh, thanks.
Interesting movie.
Yeah.
Now, all that aside, I believe that if Al Pacino spent months steeped in that lifestyle, having to learn it, having to adapt it, that would genuinely work on his psyche. I believe that could actually get inside of his head, living like that.
Yeah.
And having to leave that behind, I don't think he could ever leave that fully behind. That would be so hard.
Yeah.
It would change
You
him.
know? Yeah.
Like this movie changes you.
So there you have it. Cruising on Movies with Ron.
Good choice.
You are welcome, Troy McIver.
Now, Candy, you want to hear about the weird truth
Yes.
behind this movie?
Yes.
It's based on the body bag killings.
Yeah. This is amazing. William Friedkin is doing all this research about the body bag killings, okay? Before he made Cruising, he made The Exorcist, okay?
Right.
In The Exorcist, there's a scene where Reagan's getting a spinal tap, and there's a doctor and an x-ray tech.
Mm-hmm. So then, these years later, he makes Cruising.
And he wants to get in the mind of a killer. He finds out that the x-ray tech from that scene... Oh, and when they filmed that scene, they were in the real hospital with the real doctor and the real x-ray tech.
Okay.
Okay? That doctor actually got fired for letting them film there.
Oh, no.
He finds out that that x-ray tech is in prison for murdering a gay film critic.
Whoa.
So he goes to visit him in prison, and he's talking to him. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm making this movie about the body bag killings. And the body bag killings are still, to this day, unsolved. But William Friedkin and a whole bunch of cops firmly believe that that x-ray tech was the guy.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he's on film in The Exorcist.
Wow.
They had some evidence that pointed to him, but it was only for some of the killings. And that opens the door to multiple killers, maybe? I don't know.
I see.
But yeah, that fucking guy. It's like he worked with him.
Yeah.
Before he even made a movie about him.
Oh. That kind of makes the
Inadvertently made a movie about
The
him.
Exorcist even creepier.
Yeah.
Really. Like it attracted darkness. That's weird.
I'm in the dark here.
Oh, and also, was Stewart even gay? Or was that some weird mission that his imaginary father sent him on, who might have hated gays?
And might have been killed by Stewart.
Oh.
Remember when he heard the man being beaten in his mind?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. The top of his photo was ripped off, and he died 10 years ago? I mean, we don't find out how he died. All we have is the sound of somebody being beaten. Yeah, sure, it could have been Stewart, but it could just as easily have been his father, with him snapping and murdering him.
I suppose so.
Okay, and if he was killing for his father, man, I am tired of talking about this. How about that?
It's interesting. Okay, and on top of that, if he wasn't gay...
I'm pretty sure he was gay. That's why his father, hated him, and that's why he was so desperate for his father's approval. Why can't you ever say anything positive to me?
Okay.
And
true.
in order to gain his father's approval, he acted out what his father wanted, which is killing gays.
There you go.
But it also ties in the whole anal sex with the stabbing scenes.
Any way you can tie in anal, I'm good with it. All right, folks. Hoo-ah. If you're using Apple Podcasts or iTunes, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it.
Leave us a review.
We're on all your other favorite podcast apps and movieswithron.com. We got Facebook. There's Twitter, @movieswithron. So check us out. It's been fun.
Yep, we love you.
See you guys.
And Happy New Year.
Movies with Ron.
Al Bunny's like, I got a box of old letters here, Peg. They're all addressed to John Richards.
You sound like Al Pacino.
Okay.
Peg. I said, what do we got here? What do we got here, Peg? I work all day in a shoe store. Hoo-ah.
What are we doing here, man?
Come here.
Come here.